Hi, I'm Deborah Atkinson, and this is Flipping 50, the place to reset, tune up, and prepare for your second and better half with the energy and vitality that you want. In every episode, I answer questions from women just like you about what they're struggling with most. And I share with you how to move, how to eat, and small, easy daily flips that you can make to get the most results in the least amount of time. And I'd love to hear your question. Send it to me at flipping50tv.com. And if I choose your question for the show, you get some juicy gifts I'm going to tell you a little bit more about at the end of the show. So stay tuned. But even if I can't choose your question, you're going to get right away my Muscles in Minutes guide to the best exercises for the best metabolism in the least amount of time. Today's question comes from 58-year-old Mary, whose biggest struggle is belly fat. So many of us can identify with that. I hate it and can't get rid of it. I'm on bioidentical hormones and I just can't get rid of the tire. I don't want to go through surgery. Please don't tell me to start running. I just can't do that. Mary, I'm not going to tell you to start running for sure, and nobody out there needs to run either. Unless you love it, that's not necessarily the answer. But I am going to point you to some solutions through what you're eating in Minute Maid in the kitchen and through the type and the timing of the exercise and your bedtime and wake time. Let's go take a look at it. Today's Chalk Talk, we're gonna hit something really hard. We're talking about belly fat, and if you're a woman flipping 50 and you're watching this show, I'm guessing that you get a little bit of Mary's question, because whether your weight is fine or the weight too is a problem, usually it's redistributed to some different areas you hadn't invited it to. So let's take a look at this. Cortisol, which is your stress hormone, plus insulin equals belly fat. The two of those hormones team up to relocate fat cells to the belly, especially after or during menopause when estrogen levels start to tank or plummet, at least lower than they were at one point. So the two of them together are really the problem, but it all starts with cortisol. I like to tell everyone that estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone, those sex hormones that change during perimenopause and menopause and postmenopause, get our attention, but it is cortisol that's been there all along causing the problems. It's just amplified now. So here's the thing. What causes cortisol should be of real interest to us, because if we can nip that and reduce our level of cortisol, then belly fat is going to be far less of an issue. So even on bioidentical hormones, those hormones are not going to do all of the heavy lifting, pun intended. But here's what has to happen. We've got to look at the causes. So if you're not getting regular sleep, high quality and good quantity according to your needs, you're not going to bed at a very similar time every night and getting up at a very similar time every morning, that's going to elevate cortisol. Right now, that's true of Mary. If you're not eating regular meals at breakfast, lunch, or dinner, that's going to elevate cortisol. And right now, that's true of Mary. If you are over-exercising, or if you're not even over-exercising or what you think is over-exercising, but you're doing the same thing day in and day out, that too can elevate cortisol. And here's how that works. If you're doing moderate exercise or light exercise of up to 75 minutes, you're probably okay. But if you're going over 75 minutes, you're borderline that cortisol space. That's where it starts to accumulate again. So you want to be careful about how long you're training, even at lighter levels. If you're doing moderate to high, really vigorous, getting breathless, intensity exercise, then even 45 to 60 minutes can start to elevate your cortisol levels. So it's why we do interval training for about 20 to 30 minutes, and that's it. if you get that breathless during the time that you're supposed to be getting breathless, that's enough. It's not just that you should stop because you might risk. It's actually that you should feel like, done. I hit it, I can quit it, and I'm good to go. And that's what I'm gonna do for Mary in Muscles in Minutes today. Walking 4 to 5 miles every single day may be a little bit too much. So we're gonna have you back off 2 or 3 days a week, one of those days taking off completely to help you reduce the cortisol. And bear with me, so if you can do that for 30 days, just commit to it, because if what you're doing right now is not working, let's try something else for a short period of time and see if we can change the needle and get off that plateau. What I'm gonna give you is some short interval sprints to do on 2 days of the week, and you'll still probably feel better, more energy, and get better results. When we talk about Minute Maid, we're really talking about getting some regular meals in, and I'm gonna give you the plug right now. So there's no waiting, no suspense. Smoothies for students in the Flipping 50 programs are a no-brainer. It makes it really easy to create a breakfast in minutes that you can call predictable. So while you may have to take it with you and have it on the run in a Go cup, that works. While you may need to pack your NutriBullet in a suitcase, that too works. And I'm gonna show you exactly how that's done. But if you've got all your smoothie ingredients in a baggie waiting in the freezer, all you have to do is add liquid, which can easily be water or a milk substitute. You can be done mixing that smoothie in seconds, and that will help start your day off. And if you start well, the rest of your meals tend to be better too. Research proves it. And for you, Mary, I think the end of the day is really important. We're gonna talk about that in Overnight Success. Mary, this is your flip for at least 2 of those 4 to 5 mile walks that you're taking. What I'd love to see you do is take one of them and make a complete rest day, and the other 2, you're gonna say maybe Monday and Thursday. They're gonna be this, short and sweet, but a little bit more intense than you're used to doing. So here's how we're gonna start. I'm gonna have you take your legs wide apart, sit down, so you're gonna use your glutes and your core to hold you upright. And we're gonna start with an uppercut. So as we do this, we're warming up. So you're gonna add a little side to side, use your lower body, and I want you to think about coming from your hip. So this movement comes right here from this hip joint, and that engages your core and gets the whole thing moving. So if you're walking, you gotta remember, it's very linear. So more walking is not gonna give you more tone, but changing the kind of exercise that you're doing, like boxing a couple days a week, can make a huge difference in the way you engage your core and the rest of your body, kind of pulling or acting on your core. All right, so now with this uppercut, we're gonna hold it in place because I want you to go a little bit faster. Good, and just keep coming up right underneath your chin. Just move your chin out of the way, just in case. Hold it right here. Great for your arms, great for your core. Even though you're not moving your core, it's keeping you still. Great, slow down. Just a little breather here. So as you're cranking up, if you feel like you still need a little longer warm up, you can do more. And then I'm gonna have you tap those feet side to side. Go ahead and drop your arms. And what you're gonna do is start in front with a tap that becomes a knee. In back, we're gonna keep that tap. For now, just keep your arms in place. We can always raise those up. So it's a knee and a touch. And then start to lift. So it's a knee and a kick, and a knee and a kick. And if you start feeling like your balance is off, make sure you're forward toward me. For me to keep my balance, I need to look out here a little bit more. Here's what I want you to do. Look, if you want to, at that kick. Be sure your heel is higher than your toe. Toes are to the ground. As you go here, if you're feeling great, keep it there. If you want to go more, you're going to add a little hop, even 3 or 4 of them, and your heart rate will go up. Good. One more, and you're going to the other side. We're gonna start the same way. So you gotta give those joints a little opportunity to warm up. Knee in front, knee in front, knee and kick, knee and kick, and knee, and it's heel up and back. Totally up to you. Hands on the hips, hands up here. You got this. Good. Now, you know what's coming, right? Got a little power. You could make that front one a kick if you feel it. Otherwise, it's here, 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 and up. A little air time. You got it. 4, 3, 2, 1. Shake that out. We're coming right back to uppercut. So it's a little lower, upper, lower, upper. When you do that, we call it peripheral heart action. Your heart has to pump the oxygen and blood up to your arms and then down to your lower body when you're kicking. And that is so much harder than, say, keeping it all down when you're walking, all in your legs. And the harder you're working your heart, the more you're expending energy, and all of that comes back to your core, especially if you keep it short and sweet. Good. Now, slow down the legs, speed up the arms, and up, 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 up. Keep going. Quick, quick. You have it. Slow it down just a little. 8, 7, 6, 5, 3, 2, and go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Super fast. Go. Hang in there. Keep breathing and release. Nice job. All right, we're gonna turn it just a little bit. Jab, cross, knee from behind. Jab, cross, knee. Let's do it again. Jab, cross, boom. Jab, cross. And the more you're moving that waist, front to back to front to back to poof, the more you're doing core work without needing to be on the floor. 1, 2, 3, whew. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. And then switch sides. My non-dominant side, just a little disclaimer, back. All right. And pull. And it's the knee. Jab, cross, pull. Jab, cross. Let's speed it up. Jab, cross, pull. Jab, cross, pull. Little breath. Come on. Make them count. So when there are intervals, you get out of breath, or it's not really an interval, and you feel like, I can't do that very much longer. That's an interval. Shake that out and give me an uppercut. We'll go easy. This is a little recovery. So catch your breath. Good. Get a drink. I'm wishing I had one right now. Keep your feet stationary. Go a little faster. Make sure you're punching. Push. A little lower with that body. Now quick, uppercut. Keep it there. And release. Nice job. You can stop, reverse, do that again, and you'll have an easy interval training workout. So just think upper body, do a lower body move. Upper and lower body. As long as you get breathless. 1 minute and then recover another. That's great interval training that actually is much better for belly fat and getting rid of it. So never forget, belly fat responds really well to exercise. So you don't have to go crazy or strict on diet. Leave some of those calories and carbohydrates in because they help you produce serotonin, which decreases your stress level. But do those intervals. Whether you travel a lot or you just have really busy, crazy days like the rest of us, it's not as hard as you think if you do a little planning. And once you plan once, you've got yourself set for a great week or days full of meals, depending on how it goes. So here's one example that I use to make life really easy, because now I don't travel occasionally, I travel regularly. Usually it's 2 or 3 and sometimes 4 times a month. So in my carry-on, which I thought I would never do, I always do now, because it makes it easy to be prepared with good food that I know will make me feel good. And being on a regular routine, especially when you're traveling, is really important. So I carry with me my NutriBullet. So once I get all the other essentials in, I just find a space and pack it in. So it goes at the bottom, it's not gonna be jostled around, and I know it's gonna be with me, so it's gonna be just fine. And I get the container in, so I've got the mixer and the Go Cup. And then if I'm just traveling, say for a day, I'm gonna carry with me baggies. They've got my protein powder in it, my greens, my frozen berries, my avocado, fiber, flax, or chia, whatever I want in here except for water. Or if I make a quick stop in my Uber from the airport to the hotel at a grocery store, I can pick up a milk alternative really easily, and I'm gonna eat well for all those days that I'm away. So now those 3 to 4 trips that end up being 8 to 12 days out of the month, that's a third of my health I'm not willing to bargain for. So packing this into an insulated container in my suitcase, zipping it up, flying for a few hours, and I can land and flip a trip into a healthy getaway. Last but not least, Mary, for your overnight success, you really need a routine. So 24/7 and 365, having a regular bedtime routine and a regular wake-up routine are really important to your health. And for you, I would say your last 2, maybe last 3, are the most important hours of the day. I want you to start trying as well as you can to have a regular evening dinner time and leave 2 to 3 hours between dinner and bedtime. No matter what time dinner has to be, if you can make that a reality, you're gonna sleep so much better, because here's what's happening. With sleep, your body is either rejuvenating all of your cells, or it's competing with the desire to do that and the digestion that needs to happen if you've eaten too quickly or recently, or you haven't eaten at all and you're actually very hungry. So establishing that will help you sleep better and wake better so that you actually want to start that morning routine. So it starts with deciding the time of dinner if you can, leaving 2 to 3 hours between dinner and bedtime, making sure your bed has no electronics around it. There's no tablets, there's no iPads, there's no cell phones. The alarm clock is ideally across the room. It's not even plugged in close to your head. And all of that can help you get a great night's sleep. So can a great mattress. And the more regularly you do that, the more the right hormones can come into play and help you with belly fat. You'll have less of the cortisol hormone that deposits fat and more of testosterone and growth hormone, with help you all over have a more lean body and less body fat. And it all starts with sleep. Mary, thanks so much for asking that question about belly fat, and let me know how it goes. And I'd love to hear from you. Send me your question to flipping50tv.com. And if I use your question for the show, you're gonna get a full-size trio from my friends at Anne Marie Skincare for the skincare products I love and use every day. Plus, you get access to my exclusive course, the After 50 Fitness Formula for Women online course, plus a copy of You Still Got It, Girl, my book. And even if I can't choose your question for the show, because I can't choose everybody's, you're going to get Muscles in Minutes, my guide to the best exercises for the best metabolism in the least amount of time. What are you waiting for? Let's start Flipping 50 together. Head on over to flipping50tv.com, send me your question, and I'll see you on the flip side.